The Sunrunners are a team that's been around since the beginning of Junkyard Joust. In Season 1, they made it to the finals, but unfortunately, all of their team was eliminated in the first round. They came back in Season 2 with a different team and did considerably better, but one after the other, they all eventually fell prey to Creature from the Black Lagoon, though they did manage to make it to round 4 of the finals. Today, the Sunrunners are back and they are gunning for number 1. Hi everybody, welcome to Junkyard Joust. I am Aaron Yonda, and as you can see, there's the Sunrunners as well as 4 new teams that are going to compete today to be in the Junkyard Joust main event. Let's head into the garage and take a closer look at our teams. Blitzkrieg is a flashy looking team with a bunch of different types of vehicles, starting with the Gazella GT, sponsored by Judy Collins, the Gas Monkey, the VW T2 pickup, the Muscle Speeder, and the Fast Bed Hauler, sponsored by Sloth's Automotive Sachet and Buffet. This thing's got a bit of a ramp on the back. Here's a team of fast-moving cars with racing stripes, the Blue Line Specials, featuring the Ford Shelby Cobra Concept, sponsored by Deluxe Flame, the 65 Mustang Fastback, the Jaguar Lightweight E-Type, the Viper, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron, and the 65 Mustang GT, sponsored by Regal Radio. Sunrunners got their brand new lineup, including a couple of potential undercutters, sponsored by Priceax Private Parts. First up is the interestingly designed Happy Zap, sponsored by Swedenborg's Smorgasbord. Then we've got Buzz Off, sponsored by Jedi. Next up is What For 2, sponsored by Chome. Off Track, sponsored by Wayland Enterprises International. And Power Pistons. Magic Kingdom is a Disney-themed team with a lot of smaller vehicles and one massive vehicle. That vehicle being the MCI Bus, 180 grams, sponsored by Liz's Wizard Arts and Witchcrafts. Mike Wazowski, sponsored by Ellis Wertenberger. Pongo, sponsored by Mr. Strathholm. Dory. And Stitch, sponsored by Stephen and Kath. Next up is the lightest team to ever grace the track, Nerfed. All these cars weigh 9 grams, and yes, they are made out of Nerf material. First up is the Squish Coupe, sponsored by Woeful Fiber Art. Next up, X-Sponge, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. Sasquatch, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. Mean Squeeze, sponsored by Winnebago Trauma Clinic. And Lil Blast, sponsored by Emo Dingo. The rules are simple. Survive. Every car has to drive down the track, smash into the rest of the cars, and if they end up upside down or sideways at the end of a round, they are eliminated. Any cars that are right side up at the end of the round move on to the next round. In the qualifier, the match ends when 2 teams have lost all their cars, and the remaining 3 teams move on. Let's get this party started with the Jaguar Lightweight E-Type for the Blue Line Specials. 43 grams, heaviest car on their team. And there's your running order, randomly determined based on the roll of a die. Fast Bed Hauler's going to take to the track next for Blitzkrieg. This thing has got a ramp, and I do believe they're putting that ramp down. And it didn't make an ounce of difference. The truck just flips over on its face and turns upside down. Well, if you're gonna have a ramp truck, that is not what you want to see happen on its first run down the track. That's a rough start for Blitzkrieg, and that ramp is not going to do anything. What 4-2 is gonna take to the track for the Sunrunners? Probably finish off that Fast Bed Hauler. Solid hit there and a big toss. The Fast Bed Hauler goes flying off into the crates. Makes a half-hearted attempt at recovery, but a little too top-heavy there. And the Jaguar is in danger here, curbside. First up for Nerfed, it's Sasquatch. 9 grams, as all the cars are on this team. And a nice gentle tap. Not much you can do when you're 9 grams. I think the point of this team is to survive by being light and agile. It remains to be seen whether that's a viable strategy or a devastating mistake. First up for the Magic Kingdom, it's gonna be Stitch. He looks friendly enough, but don't forget he's a murderous alien. And a fairly gentle tap on the back of Sasquatch, and we got a nice line of cars going here. Nobody particularly aggressive yet. In fact, the only vehicle that got eliminated sort of took itself out. And we're back around to the Blue Line Specials, gonna send down Viper. Viper, a nice hit there, and that did some damage too. Stitch is on his back. Sasquatch off the track. Sasquatch making actually a nice recovery, and that's kind of one of the things I was talking about with those Nerf cars. Their best strategy here is just going to be to get off the track as quickly as possible, and they've done that with their first car. Not so good for Stitch though, although he's still on the track, so there is still a chance of a recovery right there. Now up for Blitzkrieg, it's Gas Monkey. Gas Monkey slams into the back of Viper. Viper goes tumbling off the track. Stitch looks like he's going to make a recovery, but then he just flops back over on his head. And Gas Monkey, unfortunately, setting an unhealthy precedent for the Blitzkrieg team of taking themselves out as soon as they go down the track. That's just not a positive thing for their team. Next up for the Sunrunners, it's Off Track. Off Track, a nice hit, but not anywhere to go, and does a lot of bouncing off of his own teammate. What42 able to survive that hit, and Off Track now is curbside, which could be a little dangerous. Right now we got 4 cars down and 4 cars still going in this round. Well, the Sunrunners probably don't have to worry about this hit. It's Lil Blast from Nerfed. Indeed, that was a Lil Blast, didn't do anything, and that car, oh boy, it's back off the track now. I have a feeling it's gonna get knocked around pretty good on this next hit. Next up for Magic Kingdom, it's Pongo. Got a nice low front bumper on that thing. Pongo sends Lil Blast all the way down the field. There was sort of a bounce and then another bounce, and he goes flying upside down, not recovering on that one. So the nerfed strategy did not work out there, and now Pongo has knocked off the off-track truck, his name being highly appropriate right now, but he is still right side up. Here goes the Ford Shelby Cobra for the Blue Line Specials. The Ford Shelby squeezes What42 off the track. Look at What42's recovery. What seemed like it was just going to be an upside-down flop turned into an amazing recovery. Perfect form right there. That is the exact kind of recovery you want to see with the vehicles on your team. Now up for Blitzkrieg, it's the VW T2 pickup. The VW T2 annihilates that Ford Shelby. Ford Shelby was prone. It was an easy takedown, and that VW's got a nice low front and back. Could be a big help for this Blitzkrieg team. It's the first vehicle on the team that hasn't just taken itself out. Sunrunner's going to send down their undercutter Buzz Off right now. Let's see if Buzz Off can get under some cars. Buzz Off does manage to get under that VW despite that low back bumper, but the VW makes a nice recovery, and now Buzz Off settles back down into the track. Good thing for Buzz Off. That's going to be a little bit safer. Maybe get pushed under Pongo on this next hit. Actually, I take that back. The next hit's going to be Squish Coupe, so there's not going to be anything happening on the track. Squish Coupe, exactly what I expected. Didn't do much. Actually managed to get a little bit of action on Buzz Off, but not enough to do anything. And the next hit's going to be fun because Squish Coupe is going to get squished. Looks like it'll be Dory for the Magic Kingdom who's going to be doing the squishing on this hit. Appropriate that a fish is going to squish. Ooh, Buzz Off gets pushed upside down by that Nerf car getting caught up in the spoiler. So Nerf proving that they do have some offensive capability there. Buzz Off definitely in danger on the track. Now up, it's the 65 Mustang Fastback. And the Mustang sends that Nerf car flying all the way across the field. Dory gets pushed off the track and sideways, and that was a great hit right there. Potentially 2 eliminations. Quality stuff from the Mustang Fastback. Muscle Speeder now for Blitzkrieg. Let's see if this thing can survive its initial hit. And the Muscle Speeder gets a pretty good hit there and actually ends up saving Buzz Off, potentially, as Buzz Off comes back down on the track. An amazing recovery. And the Sunrunners are going to send down Happy Zap. And Happy Zap zaps Muscle Speeder off the track, skittering across the top of all those cars, comes to a stop upside down. Another loss for Blitzkrieg most likely, and a good hit by Happy Zap. Here comes Mean Squeeze for Nerfed. And a nice light tap on the back of Happy Zap by Mean Squeeze. Mean Squeeze goes back down the track. That's going to be trouble for him on this next hit. Let's see if he can put some of those light, agile survival skills into action. Here comes Mike Wazowski for the Magic Kingdom. Mike Wazowski gets under Mean Squeeze, and Mean Squeeze makes a great recovery. A lot of flying all over the field, but manages to come to rest on his tires, and that's what you want. That's going to be another vehicle that makes a recovery for Nerfed. They're looking not too bad right now, and Mike Wazowski is under Happy Zap right now. So this next hit is going to be interesting for the 65 Mustang GT. A lot of opportunity here. And the Mustang gets some good action on the track. Happy Zap goes flying off but makes a recovery. Mike Wazowski sideways, and the Mustang's fellow Mustang is pointed up in the air. Could be trouble. Now the Gazella GT has an opportunity here to finish a couple of those cars that are down on the track. And a great hit there. It looks like one of the Mustangs might be out. The other Mustang makes a pretty good recovery, and Mike Wazowski actually returns to upright on the track, but is still in peril. Next up for the Sunrunners, it's Power Pistons. This car's got some undercutting ability, and it's nice and low to the track. And it makes a pretty good hit on the Gazella GT, pushes it up. Now we've got about 3 cars that are in danger here, being pushed up off the track, but there's not a whole lot of wiggle room either, so they might be safe. We shall see. They'll certainly be safe from the light bounce of X-Sponge on this next run. X-Sponge does a little push of Power Pistons under the other cars. Doesn't do any damage, but gets things evened out a little bit. And now we've got more cars on the track than before. Ooh, boy, things are about to get interesting. The MCI bus is gonna hit the track, 180 grams. And it does exactly what you'd expect that bus to do. We've got at least 6, maybe 7 cars that go hurtling off the track. Several casualties. We've got a Nerf car upside down. Mike Wazowski's upside down. Oh man, there was a couple good recoveries in there too. And now it's just that bus and the original Jaguar that went down at the beginning of the round left on the track. What a massive hit. And Magic Kingdom saved the best for last. That was the final car of this round. And this might be a record for casualties in a qualifier. 15 of these cars have been eliminated in round 1. The good news for these teams, though, no teams were fully eliminated in this round. Let's go to our aftermath. Blue Line Specials and Glitzkrieg lost most of their team. Magic Kingdom lost 3, Nerf lost 3, and Sunrunners looking pretty with only 1 car lost, Power Pistons. Sunrunners are going to start us off in round 2 with Happy Zap. They've got to be happy with what happened in that first round. Power Pistons probably only eliminated because that bus came down right after Power Pistons did, so they might have had a better survival rate if they hadn't got massacred by that giant thing. Magic Kingdom wisely choosing to send Pongo down and not the MCI bus. Be a little early for that bus, and it might have trouble with the bounce back off the safety rail, considering how many cars it plowed through before. Pongo and Happy Zap are both lined up on the track now. A lot of skepticism about this Nerf team before the match, but right now they are doing better than 2 of the other teams. So that says something about the possibilities of this Nerf team, as Sasquatch takes his place on the track. Blue Line Specials' only remaining car in this match, the Jaguar Lightweight E-Type. Ironically, the heaviest car on the team, and a great hit there, but Sasquatch makes a crazy recovery and lands it perfectly. That was amazing, and now that car's off the track and pretty safe. So the strategy of getting in and out quick is working right now for the Nerf team. Glitzkrieg had an abysmal first round. Here comes the VW, their lone survivor. And the VW smacks into the back of that Jaguar and locks it in on the track. All these cars still locked in. And the last 2 on the track gotta survive or their teams are done. Sunrunners going with their undercutter right now, gonna try to cause these teams to get eliminated. Buzz-Off gets under the VW but can't get him off the track. VW's bumper absorbed most of the impact and saved him from getting pushed off the track, but right now he is not in a good position. But as it turns out, no one is in a good position right now. Here comes the MCI bus. And most of the cars go flying off the track. The VW gets hurled upside down and cannot land it. Buzz-Off lands it. Happy Zap is out, and the Jaguar makes a recovery. Pongo stays on the track somehow. A pretty devastating hit by that bus. It looks like Glitzkrieg is out, and it looks like Sunrunners have lost an additional vehicle. Mean Squeeze for Nerfed now. Mean Squeeze bounces off the back of that bus a long way back down the track. That's going to make him an easy target on this next run. I think What For 2 is going to take Mean Squeeze on a little ride here. And a nice hit. Mean Squeeze managed to stay on the track all the way down, but then gets double bounced off the track. And look at that recovery. Mean Squeeze vacates the track completely and just drives all the way over to the left side of the field to complete an utter safety. And the final car of round 2 is going to be off track for the Sunrunner's. Going to have to take a hit on his own teammate. He's done it before and he does it again. Off track, bounces off and makes a nice recovery, and that is going to end the round. The Sunrunner's still looking pretty good here with one additional loss. Let's take a look at our aftermath. Only 2 cars eliminated that round. One of them was pretty important though. Blitzkrieg is out of this qualifier. And Sunrunners have been reduced down to 3, which is going to give these other teams a little bit more of an opportunity. Sunrunners starting off round 3 with off track. Now the question on a lot of people's minds posed here at the beginning of this event was, are the Sunrunners champion caliber material again this season? And right now it looks like they're not too shabby. That was kind of a weak hit actually by off track. It takes him off the track, which might be good. Nothing else, the Sunrunners have consistently made it to the final match in Junkyard Joust each season, so we'll see if this team is able to keep up their tradition. Mean Squeeze now for nerfed. Ooh, Mean Squeeze clips the side of off track and goes upside down. Still on the track. Off track though, actually, that worked out nicely. Nice and safe over on the side, taking a play out of the nerfed playbook. And now we're going to find out if Mean Squeeze gets a recovery opportunity here when Pongo takes to the track for Magic Kingdom. Heavy hit by Pongo, and Mean Squeeze goes flying all over the place. A lot of bouncing, a lot of flipping, a little bounce and a recovery. A great job by Mean Squeeze right there, showing that this nerfed team has tenacity. They are not as easy to eliminate as everyone maybe thought they would be. Blue Line Special sending down the Jaguar again. Got to stay in this match. Nice hit there by the Jaguar, makes Pongo go curbside. Jaguar pushed a little bit of the way down the track. That could set the Jaguar up for a nasty hit here, especially since the Sunrunners are going in for the kill, sending down Buzzoff to undercut that Jaguar. And Buzzoff slides underneath the Jaguar, and the Jaguar, look at that recovery. A smooth move there, just backs right off the track, stays upright. And that is probably going to take the Blue Line Specialist to the next round, assuming there is one. Here comes Sasquatch for nerfed. Sasquatch hits the spoiler on Buzzoff. That's been a problem for them before, but this time, so far, not an issue for Sasquatch. What could be an issue for Sasquatch? It's the MCI bus coming down the track yet again. Big hit coming. And cars go flying all over the place. This time the bus manages to get all the competitors off the track, except for Evil Weevil, of course. And look at that, Buzzoff and Sasquatch making a recovery after going up pretty high in the air. Pongo, his own teammate, eliminated upside down. The MCI bus takes out his own teammate, and now that bus is curbside. And that is going to be a top-heavy bus. Here comes What For 2. Can he take out the bus? A nice hit, but the bus manages barely to cling to the edge of the track and stay on. That was a close one. Sunrunners here sensing an opportunity to take out this big guy. But that was the last car of the round, and so Magic Kingdom are going to stay in it despite sustaining the only loss of the round in Pongo. So 7 cars left as we head into round 4. And the MCI bus showing it has a weakness. Can that weakness be exploited? Starting us off, it's going to be What For 2 for the Sunrunners. One thing to think about here as we take a look at the running order, it looks like Magic Kingdom is going to be going down last in this round in the run order. That means any of these cars that go down ahead of it are going to have to survive a massive wallop. We might be looking at some serious carnage here. Sasquatch up next for nerfed. I get the distinct feeling we probably won't be seeing another round in this match, but anything is possible. We saw a lot of recoveries the last time that bus did its business on the track, so we'll see if that happens again. Sasquatch down the track a little ways, gonna be an easy hit here for the Jaguar. Jaguar tries to take out Sasquatch, and again, a lot of flipping and a lot of rotating in the air, and Sasquatch lands it again. That is showing some serious durability. Durability makes sense. They are a team made out of Nerf material, and that was a great recovery, avoiding the next vehicle that's coming down, the MCI bus. I feel kind of bad for the two cars that remain on the track right now. And the bus clobbers the Jaguar, and what for two? The Jaguar goes flying all over the place and makes a recovery. And what for two is upside down under the bus. Now that bus is in a seriously unfortunate position. Just the lightest tap could probably send it over the edge to its doom. And for the moment, the Jaguar is still alive. Here comes Buzz-Off to try to finish off that bus. And Buzz-Off hits the bus, it teeters and topples over and is done. The Magic Kingdom are not gonna get that thing back up on its feet, and they are certainly out of this match. Unless one of these other teams also gets eliminated in this round, and then we'd have to go to the old point system to determine who is the survivor. So this match isn't over yet. We still got a couple cars coming down this round. Let's see what happens. Mean Squeeze is up now for Nerf. Mean Squeeze, a nice hit on Buzz-Off for a 9-gram car. Actually locks Buzz-Off into the track and helps him out a little bit. And now Mean Squeeze is locked into the track, I guess, although a nerfed car never really locked too well into the track. And here comes the final car of this round to mix things up. It's Off Track. Off Track sends Mean Squeeze upside down and pushes the Jaguar over. Down there at the end of the track, just a little flip and the Jaguar is over. Buzz-Off is out. Off Track takes out his own teammate, but also two other vehicles, and now Blue Line Specials and Magic Kingdom are theoretically out of this match, but 3 of these teams have to move on to the main event. Let's take a quick look at our aftermath. Nerfed and the Sunrunners both lost 1, but Magic Kingdom and Blue Line Specials both lost their only remaining vehicle. So the way that we break the tie is we look at the number of cars a team had left every round, and they get points based on that. The number of points they got for each car they had left is actually the round number itself. Ultimately, what it comes down to is Magic Kingdom had more cars alive longer in the match, and they are going to move on with 9 survival points over the Blue Line Special 6. Congrats to our 3 winning teams. There were a lot of twists and turns in that match. We've got 5 more qualifiers left before the main Junkyard Joust event. Here are your qualifying teams so far. A lot of interesting teams that have made it into the Junkyard Joust this season so far, and a lot more interesting ones to come. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment and all that stuff, and maybe even share the video with a friend who you think might be interested. If you want to do some friendly betting, head over to the Junkyard Joust Discord and hang out there, and you can see some of the new cars that I get and also bet on these episodes. Become a patron now if you want to sponsor a car or help support this show. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night.